Hello future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. There is another video in integral calculus and I'll consider this as challenge and beautiful problems in integral calculus. And I hope that through this, your skills in mathematics will be in general enhanced and your analysis improve, which are needed for you to be successful in your chosen engineering career. So these are the problems. I will just read this on the next slide to shorten the video. So there are three sets of problems in this video and let's have less animations. Sorry for that, but I hope that my explanations will be enough to satisfy your uh, the watching of this video, and I hope that you can follow and understand. So find the moment of inertia of a circular sector of angle theta. So that's why the axis of symmetry, I orient the sector to lie here, and half is in the first quadrant, the other half in the fourth quadrant. So the angle is bisected. The angle given is theta, so this would be theta over 2, theta over 2. The radius is denoted by big R. So moment of inertia of a circular sector of angle theta with respect to a line through the center perpendicular to a plane. And in the second part, show that the polar moment of inertia of an area bounded by a polar curve and two radius vectors is given by that expression. And this is the third application of the results here, especially this part here. So we have IO. Let's have a ring because based on our experience, the derivation of polar moment of inertia of area is, especially for circular regions, is best derived and simply derived by that uh, differential element, which is a ring. The length of the ring, in your experience, remember, is the arc length times uh, which is equal to radius times central angle. In this case, the radius is small r and the central angle is 2 theta, r times 2 theta, r times theta rather. Then the thickness dr, that's the differential area. So length r times theta, then the thickness dr. So differential area is r theta dr. And the moment of inertia with respect to an axis through the center perpendicular to the area is integral of constant distance squared, which is small r squared times differential area. Again, differential area is arc length, which is r times theta times thickness dr. So original expression IO is integral from 0 to r of r squared dA. And since dA is r theta times the length of that arc, r theta, then thickness dr, and theta is constant, so we have to evaluate on the integral of r cubed dr, which is r to the fourth over 4. So that would be theta quantity r to the fourth over 4 from 0 to big R. Finally, we get 1/4 r to the fourth theta. So remember this, the moment of inertia of uh, sector with respect to an axis perpendicular to its plane and through the center of the sector or circular region is equal to 1/4 r to the fourth times central angle, which is theta. So if we denote area, which is small m, mass, which is equal to area of the sector, which is 1/2 big R squared times central angle theta. That's it. So therefore, IO is, we can rewrite this as 1/2 of R squared theta times R squared over 2. So in general, IO of this circular sector is 1/2 mr squared, or it is 1/4 r to the fourth theta. Remember that. Where m is the area of the sector, small m, area of the sector, which is 1/2 r squared times central angle theta. So therefore, for a small element in this drawing here, in general, for problem 18 thus be, the moment of inertia of this sector element, differential sector element, is 1/4, because the result here is 1/4 r square theta. So it is 1/4 small r to the fourth. So 1/4 small r to the fourth times angle. The angle here is differential theta for that element there. So that's the drawing, differential sector. Then this is applied for region, for expression for moment of inertia with respect to the origin perpendicular to the region bounded by these radius vectors. So 1/4 small r to the fourth, then differential theta. Differential IO is 1/4 r to the fourth differential theta. So that would be 1/4 integral from theta 1 to theta 2. So this is theta 1, radius vector 1, radius vector 2, theta 2 of r to the fourth d theta. So as simple as that. We have already defined it, but we have to first derive the polar moment of inertia of a sector first, so that we can easily set this up. So that's it. That's the proof, or that's the derivation. Then for problem 18 the C, find the moment of inertia of area bounded by the parabola y square equals 8x and the line x is y. So we use this result here. And remember that IO is IX plus IY. I will present two ways. One is the elementary way, original way, and the other one is using these results here, because we can um, transform this parabola to polar form, polar equations. So this is the parabola in the first quadrant. It is supposedly open to the right vertex at the origin. Then we have y squared equals 8x. This is the line x equals y, which makes an angle of 45 degrees with the positive x-axis. And because that's 45 degrees, or pi over 4 in radians, the equation is, that's why it's x equals y, or in polar form, that's theta equals pi over 4. Theta is pi over 4, so theta 1 is pi over 4. Then this is the differential sector element. Then the angle is differential theta. By the way, the tangent to the parabola is at the vertex is the y-axis. Therefore, the angle that tangent to this parabola or polar curve, after transforming it to polar equation, would be pi over 2. So the limits would be theta 1 to theta 2. Theta 1 is pi over 4 and theta 2 is pi over 2 radians, or 90 degrees. So first, I'll derive Ix because it's part Ix. So I consider that horizontal strip, the blue one, so that the distance of every element of that strip from the x-axis is just y. Y sub c is y. And the differential area would be right x minus left x times thickness dy. By the way, the point of intersection is at 8, 8 because x is y. You just substitute x is y here. So we have y squared equals 8y, or y times quantity y minus 8 equals 0. So y is 0, x is 0, and y is 8, x is 8. So that's the reason I'm not showing the details anymore, because you can do that as students in integral calculus or in calculus in general. You have experienced that. So Ix is integral from 0 to 8 of constant distance square, which is y square. Differential area is the area of this light blue glossy blue uh, rectangular strip, and which is right x minus left x dy, where right x is the x of this line and the left x is the x of this parabola. So right x is simply y because the variable of integration is y, limit 0 to 8. So 0 to 8. And left x is the x of the parabola, which is y squared over 8. So substituting, so that would be integral of y cubed, which is y to the fourth over 4, minus integral of y to the fourth over 8, which is y to the 5 over 40. 8 times 5 is 40. So y to the fourth over 4 minus y to the 5 over 40, 0 to 8. And you just substitute it. Really, you can also use your calculator directly. For those who are preparing for the board exam, you can use that. So that ix is 1024 over 5. Likewise, IY, so that's why I consider strip, so that you will also have an experience where the strip is perpendicular to the axis. So just imagine we have two rectangles and we compute moment of inertia with respect to the base, and the base is the y-axis here. So we have the base dy and the height would be right x and left x respectively. So it is moment of inertia of big rectangle with respect to the base minus moment of inertia of small rectangle with respect to the base. And remember that the moment of inertia with respect to the base in the preceding videos or in your experience, moment of inertia of rectangle, which I already derived also in one of my videos, is 1/3 base height cube. So in this case, IY is 1/3, the base is dy, factor that out, right x cube minus 1/3 dy left x cube, or in general 1/3 IY is 1/3 quantity right x cube minus left x cube dy. Limits is still 0 to 8. The variable of integration is still y. So substituting, right x is the x of the line, so that would be y cube. The left x is the x of the parabola, which is y squared over 8. Then raise that to 3. And again, you can use your calculator directly, or you may expand that. Anyway, that's just power formula. So IY is 1/3 integral 0 to 8 of y cube minus y to the y squared over 8 quantity cube. So that would be y to the fourth over 4, 1/3 of quantity y to the fourth over 4 minus, this is y to the 6, so y to the 7 over 56. 7, no, y to the 7 over 7, 8 cube rather. And using your calculator, you can evaluate that. And it is equal to 1024 over 7. Finally, IO is IX plus IY, and IX plus IY is 1024 over 5 plus 1024 over 7, and that is equal to 1 to 12,288 over 35. So that is by elementary method. We compute IX and IY, then combined, that's IO. In the next slide, I have to apply this technique, this result here, so that we can compare the answer. So continuing, we have IO equals, this is the general expression, 1/4 integral theta 1 to theta 2 r to the 4 d theta. Theta 1 is pi over 4, theta 2 is pi over 2. I already explained that in the preceding slides. So let's now convert this equation, y squared equals 8x, to polar form. Remember that y is r sine theta and x is r cosine theta from polar equations, and you can easily recall that. So r squared sine squared theta equals 8r cosine theta, cancel r. So this is r equals 8 cosine theta divided by sine squared theta, and I break sine squared theta into sine theta so that you can clearly see the expression, which is r equals 8 over sine theta. 1 over sine theta is cosecant theta, and cosine theta over sine theta is cotangent theta. So that would be r equals 8 cosecant theta, cotangent of theta. So substituting, IO equals 1/4 integral pi over 4 to pi over 2 of quantity 8 cosecant theta cotangent theta to the 4th d theta. Simplifying, that's 1024 integral of cotangent. I write cotangent to the 4th first, then cosecant to the 4th theta, and I break again cosecant to the 4th into cosecant square theta and cosecant square theta. And because cosecant square theta is 1 plus cotangent square theta, or cotangent square theta plus 1, so IO is 1024 integral pi over 4 to pi over 2 cotangent 4 theta. Then I replace cosecant square theta here by cotangent square theta plus 1. That's the identity, cosecant square theta. So that this is, if we let u be cotangent of theta, the differential is negative cosecant square theta d theta, which is present here. So I put this negative cosecant square theta, then d theta, then I also multiply this by negative 1 to maintain the original expression. So IO is negative 1024 integral pi over 2 to pi over 4 to pi over 2 of quantity cotangent to the 6 theta plus cotangent to the 4 theta times negative cosecant square theta d theta. This is now in the form integral of u to the 6 plus u to the 4th, then that's the differential of u. U is cotangent theta, differential of cotangent theta, negative cosecant square theta d theta. So applying power formula, that's again integral of u to the 6 plus u to the 4th quantity du. So that would be negative 1024 of quantity cotangent to the 7 over 7 plus cotangent to the 5th theta over 5 from pi over 4 to pi over 2. Remember that cotangent of pi over 2 is like cosine of 90 over sine of 90, which is 0, while cotangent of pi over 4 is 1. Or tangent of pi over 4 is 1. Cotangent of pi over 4 is 1. So that would be negative 1024. Applying the upper limit, that would be 0 minus lower limit 1. 1 to the 7 is still 1. 1 to the 5 is still 1. So that would be negative 1024 times quantity 0 plus 0 minus quantity 1 to the 7 over 7 plus 1 to the 5th over 5. And using your calculator, combining, that's the same answer as before, 12,288 over 35. So that's it for this video.